When will the stream start?
Change that with a D. Mr. Dream. Didn't work. Sorry,
What
guys.
changes?
Khaleesi. All right. I thought we'd jump on here.
Should get a doggy cam.
What's a doggy cam? Something that goes on their head?
No, I mean like camera that's just on them, and then I pull them into the stream. And it's just in the corner.
I gotcha. Chilling like villains. I had a great talk today with Rich Gaspari. Took second at the Mr. Olympia. Won the first Arnold Classic.
Free time.
And still here today. Again, I'll keep saying that to you guys that are 30s and older, to give you guys insight that you can do this for a long period of time. Any idea what all these handles are for?
That's the new ones. We got 2 airplanes.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, and then
There's one for the car.
there's a mini.
I would think that car would be a great one.
Cars would be sick. That's the one in the corner.
Don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
He cries about that.
I like
It's fun.
this. Might be that, unless the other 2 are over there. Why is Rich still, in it when so many aren't? You know what I mean? Like, what's separating Rich from some other guys from the 90s that we don't know about? Why is Rich one of the best?
My belief is it was another one of us that started so young and created habits. And those habits continued. Think of this. They talk about habits. And during my era, most of those competitors were teenage competitors too.
Yeah.
The Lee Haney's, the Barry DeMays, and all these guys. Yeah. And so if you clock out life and you go, hey, how long you been on a diet? I've been on a diet a week. I've been able to, there's guys that are, I've been 3 months consistent. Holy sheesh. Since 9. This guy, since he was 14, 15. So he's been consistent on a nutrition plan for 55 years.
Can you explain the depth of what consistent means in that regards, though? Because it's not consistent, I
Eat healthy.
It is, I know exactly what's going into my body, down to the molecule. I know so much about what's going into my body. In fact, if I gain the tiniest, a drop of water in my skin, I know exactly what caused it and how to reverse that. That's a level of understanding of your body when it comes to diet that it's remarkable in its own regard, but it is, out of 7 billion people in the world, how many hundreds have that skill and are in tune to their body at that level? Nuts. If you actually digest what that means, it's nuts.
Yeah, Jeffrey just dropped he dropped it on that one, and he's right. And so I think there's how can that help you? Well, that can help you by understanding that there are individuals that do that. So if you're out there and you're like, this is tough, look at the difference between you've lasted 3 days where these guys have lasted 50 years on a program. Not, hey, I have my chicken and rice. No, I know the carbs, protein, fats. I gained 2 pounds. Well, I did that because I put in an extra cup of oatmeal, and that got my my weight up. But it's also more calories, and so now I'm still burning. That's good weight. That's 2 pounds isn't fat. We're okay. Precise. These guys are so precise on understanding their body. Like Rich Gaspari talked about today, is like I went on my trip. I got sick. I lost 8 pounds. That was okay because I came back, got right back on my nutrition after I was done being sick. And I not only gained my weight back within days, but I also had a faster metabolism because that sickness kind of, the body fought against it and made you even better. So it's like those little details are something that I don't think is common knowledge. Or when somebody says, hey, this guy's still working out today. Okay, that means he's going to the gym. No, that means he's sleeping right, he's recovering right, he's training right, and he understands his program. I try to dive in deeper on the understanding of what does he do during a year, or any of these guys. What do they do during a year after the competing is done? So won the Arnold. He went on to do the Olympia. Well, he went to Olympia first, but anyways, true champion, a legend, a Hall of Fame bodybuilder. He's 61 now. So he's a couple years older than me, and he's still doing it, and he's still in the grind. And like I said, when I was at the Arnold Classic, I don't train at those expos. I just kind of worry about the expo, be there, see the people, the fans that come out and stuff. But Rich was up every day at 5 in the gym by 6 o'clock training every morning, and then the expo. That's props from me to him. I got a guy here right now. He can't even go to the gym, you know.
That's messed up.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's don't worry, they're not going to see who you are. We're not going to pull you. We're not going to pull you on or
There's
anything.
nobody in here. You talk about that guy out there.
So props to him and all of you out there that are trying to do your thing and trying to get better. I got to work out with Mitchell, the world's strongest man today. And that's also another plus because we talked about calorie intake and how he's in a surplus. And so that surplus helps him keep his body strong. He's 29 years old. He's dominated since he was 26, 25, 26. So it's so cool to see these kids doing that and have that passion for that. But he also is schooled, he's book smart, and he's in the trenches smart. And I appreciate that. Mostly the guys that understand the books smart is so secondary to the in the trenches kind of grind that you really understand on doing nutrition and training. It really does separate it. So let's jump into this. Let's see.
Dude, this is a wild one. I've never heard this one, so I'm pulling it. Is it true that you can only put on 5 pounds of muscle per pound of bone?
Per pound. Well, I've never heard. I don't know what that means. But that would just mean everybody's bone density. So you're
Right.
most people can only be 10 pounds bigger or smaller than the next person. So
On average, a human skeleton weighs around 23 pounds.
Yep,
Okay.
that makes sense. 5 pounds per pound of bone.
I think Mike's last DEXA scan, he was like 300 pounds of lean muscle. So
yeah.
you got a fucking Wolverine
So,
skeleton.
I don't know what you heard or where that came from, but one cool thing that I always heard is, and it seems to be really true, is you can gain, if everything is really great, 5 pounds of muscle a year. So, quarters here and there throughout the whole year, you guess a quarter, 5 pounds of muscle. Now, I know that may not seem like, well, if you're 150, a year of eating right and training right, and you only get 5 pounds. I get that. But think of this. In 4 years, you got 20, and that's muscle. So add on another 10 pounds of carrying some body fat in there, which is okay because you got 20 more pounds of muscle. So you still look ripped to the bone, percentage-wise too. So you're 180. So it's slow, or it doesn't sound like much. And so that's something I accepted as a young kid. And obviously during puberty, that's thrown out the freaking window. But through life. And then also, here's the other fact. That was also something that I was told that it's only up until about 24, that 5 pounds of muscle. Then it goes down from there. And I'm okay with that. There's probably millions of guys right now that are going to argue that point. That's fine. But I like the idea of that. And I like the idea of trying to get as much muscle as you possibly can before 24, 25, as much as you can, and then fine tune it after that. So with that being said, can you still gain muscle in your 30s and 40s and 50s? I believe you can. And I think there's a lot of options out there that can help you do that as well. And then also, here's the biggest thing for anybody here. And these studies are, when you hear 5-10 years later about these studies, and you hear about the cold plunge study. Well, it was done with this many people, and boom, 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 boom. And at the end of the day, you finally hear that was only done with really technically 20 people. And you're like, well, that's not really a study.
That you can't even relate.
Yeah. So you can put that in your mind that it's 5 pounds a year, or you could just say F off and go, no, I'm going to gain 20 pounds. Cool.
Well, that's what like what Mitchell said today. If he didn't believe that stuff, maybe he wouldn't have been so great. They were saying when he went to one of his first competitions, the judges said, "So how do you think you're going to do?" He's like, "Oh, I'm going to win." And then they're kind of looking at him like, "Okay, kid, do you know where you're at?" But if he didn't have that belief, maybe that it was that belief that gave him that. So it's like you're saying with the weight right there. If you set that belief of, oh, I can't get more than 5 pounds, well, guess what? You can.
Yeah, kind of.
Good one, Bobo.
So
You were set up to believe that. But
there's a beautifulness in that ignorant bliss of don't get so attached to all this stuff. Did you ever find out who the director was?
5 seconds. Watch this. Just how I found out last time.
Ignorant bliss, said by the director. But grab that and make a cue note of that for
Hitchcock.
not hit. He looks like it.
It's Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
Good old Welles. Citizen Kane, 1941.
Can you imagine saying that back then? Okay, so if you're lost, Jeffrey's monologue there was about this morning. The world's strongest man said to us when he first competed, he had an ignorant bliss about himself as well. Because I was talking about how when I was growing up, I didn't know you couldn't be strong and look good. And everybody would say, no, you got to be the one. You got to be either strong or you got to look good. You can't be both. And I had so ignorant bliss in me that I was like, I'm going to do it. And I didn't have any beliefs against it.
You almost made it.
Almost. Yeah. Oof. And so Mitchell was talking about when he entered this first strongman, he didn't realize he was with the best strongman that day. You know, there's different beginners, intermediate, and the advanced. They stuck him in the advance. And then they did an interview with him, said, how are you going to do today? And he goes, I'm going to win this thing. And that's cool because of the fact he did win it. And then he also was going against the best his first time out. And so there's a beautiful ignorant bliss of, I can pick that up. If you did it 10 times, I'll do it 11. So it's a really cool thing to just go, I'm going to do it. I'll be the first. And listen, Robbie Robinson is out there walking around being a stud, and I'll bring him up all the time because he deserves it. He walks around. You imagine somebody saying, well, you can't look like that, be that jacked, and walk around like a freaking stallion. And when I say keep your girlfriend away, I say keep your girlfriend away because this guy looks like he'll take that and smash it. You know, it does, man. He walks around. Our testosterone goes up when we train together because it was just Belgium horses. You guys know the story? The story is one Belgium horse can pull, I think it's 2,800 pounds. Do you know that?
I'll look it up. No, that's a lot.
So, yeah, look it up. Jeffrey's faster.
8,000.
8,000 by himself.
8,011.
Okay. So you would assume if it's 2 Belgium horses, it's 16. Find out what the total is if 2 do it. 32. So a Belgium horse by himself can lift or pull or drag 8,000 pounds. 2 together, common sense would say 16. But because they have such egos, that when they team up, they push harder than ever and they get 3,200 pounds, 32,000 pounds, right? So that's a training partner. That's a training partner. If you can go in by yourself and you push whatever, good, I'll go in and I'll do whatever, a moderate workout. But then you bring in somebody like Mitchell Cooper today. When's the last time I busted out 11? It's such a good thing. Don't run away from that. In this world of so mediocrity and just wanting to go, hey, good job on everything. Don't do that. Step outside of that. And find the training partner that's going to call you out and say, you're not dieting right. You're not training hard enough. You can do better. Find that. I love that. I don't want the guy call, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. Hey, you're doing good. Hey, I want the guy going, this is where you can do better. You can do better here, here, and here. Let's work on that. Let's get you, on point.
I was calling Sam out. Didn't have none.
Sam showed up.
You did. You got his spouse.
His heart's broken and he still shows up.
Killed it.
And he stayed. He stayed and helped and did the filming and all that stuff when that boy had to get to work.
He was working.
Right?
He was on a conference
You
call.
barely missed babysitting my kid. And this guy shows up heartbroken and did that. Yeah. I almost went to the
Very
biggest
good.
premiere of my life. And
But who
Sorry.
came in?
me and my boyfriend are fighting right
Who
now, guys.
flew in? Lost everything. Credit cards. I did it. I showed up. I found a way. I got through TSA.
I'm going to wear this. Just film Bobo now on.
Yeah.
Give me a question.
Was it fun filming Magazine Dreams?
I don't know if fun was the word, but it was intense. It made me level up. It made me level up in a lot of positions. First off, when you see it, you'll understand the range of the character I had to play was something outside my wheelhouse. You'll understand it after you see it. And so that kind of made me have to level up as an actor.
Working out. Had to level up with Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, and those are the fun things too. It really was. It was so fun, and it helps each of these last movies I did. So it wasn't fun; it was needed, and I appreciate the opportunity, and it made me better in so many facets. And Jonathan said this at the movie. He got to talk after the movie was over, and he kind of talked about the experience. And most actors, when they do a hard, deep emotional role, they lose a bit of themselves, and that's what David was talking about. Says, what did you leave behind? What emptied you and hurt you? And he said it didn't, in a sense, it opened him more, and so there was more room to grow. And I think that's what it did for me too. It was like, oh, I can do this level, and so that's what Magazines did for me. And in life, it got me a couple new friends that are amazing people. Amazing people, and that's that side effect that's awesome.
He was in crazy shape for that.
He's great. Wait until you see him in the gym, and you don't know if it's 1990 or 2025, and he's like, ugh. And I was cool with the screaming and the yellow headset. That took me back.
He had the ripped.
He had the tank top. This one, the trap
Yeah,
shirt.
he had the trap shirt with the string around here.
Yeah.
When I was watching, I was like, oh, that's good attention to detail. Like they
Elijah's
dove
the director of Magazine Dreams, and I hope he wins. He deserves it, first off. But the detail, the smallest detail, coming from a guy that's lived this my entire life, they killed it. They killed it in that aspect.
Mike, I'm 15 and recently started power bodybuilding and enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great age. Hey, I'm glad you're doing power bodybuilding. Mark your numbers down that you want. Also, put them on your wall, your bedroom wall. Hey, these are my goals. This is what I'm going to do. Put those numbers down on the wall. and then focus also on the nutrition. You're 15, kid. You don't realize what is right now at your hands of that growth period over the next 10 years, but especially 15. Your body is still changing and going through this puberty stage. Even if though you've gone through the spurt of growth, you're still growing so much. So keep going. Great job. I can't get this 250.
You get that right after the bench. Fucking break that right after what you benched today.
There you go. You got it.
I've been following you for 45 years now. How do you find time to do everything? You're awesome.
I prioritize. There's certain things that are just 100% a necessity. Eating, training, not skipping those. In the early years, for anybody, and like the 15-year-old, you're going to run into one day the people saying, yeah, but you get to work out for a living.
Yeah.
These are the same idiots that did school like I did college like I did, and went into making finance like I did. But I set it up in a way to where I would be having the opportunity to be able to make sure that I can train my life away. Everybody has those choices. And the 15-year-old today, keep that in mind. And because the question here was a great question. How do I find it? And how do I do it? I set myself up in my teens and during my college years that allowed me to do something that I could be able to always keep this in play. Always keep this in play. You know, I would continue to say something, but I don't want to hurt my friend's feelings over here.
Yeah.
Don't be just money hungry. I get the idea of being money hungry and do it in a good way, but at the same time, do something that you freaking love. Get the workouts and take care of your health. Be a savage. I think today it hit different. He's 29 and I got to train with him. And like he said, that's the thing. I didn't just get to train with him, but I got to use the same weights. And that's fun for me.
It was different.
And the talk about Craig was great. I mean, it is what it is. It's like, I want to be able to do things.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You can't coach people. You're out of shape. And you've been out of shape for 10 years.
Sorry, buddy. You gonna coach people into a fucking injury? Oh.
It's a great point.
Thoughts on eating right before bed if working out later at night due to the work schedule? Calories in versus calories out?
Everybody here, eating before bed, for me and my clients that I work with, is a go-to, 100%. And it does not. His second part is because I train late. I don't care when you train. You can train in the morning. In the off season, I will eat up till bedtime. Okay. Especially because I'm trying to get more and more calories in. And so you got to spread those meals out between, 5 to 7 meals. And so sometimes that last meal is at bedtime. And I think it's great. And again, tested on me and thousands of people that I work with around the world, and they just get better. So I like it. It also gives you an option to, when you do start dieting and you do start pulling the calories back, and it does get maybe down to 5 or 6 meals. And so that 3-hour window before bed comes into play, and you're like, okay, I'm finishing my meals 3 hours to bed. Yeah, you're going to be more hungry. You'll be burning and stuff. And so it just gives you a nice little window as well when you're slicing. Hours during the day, getting the meals in, spread them out. That way you can get the size and your calories up off season. So when you do slice up, man, it's crazy. And the change up is crazy.
What can practicing posing each day do to the body?
That's a great question. Thank you so much. And again, what can it do to the body? Well, it can make your workouts better, make your mind to muscle connection better, and it also extra calorie burn, and you get denser muscle by holding and peaking and squeezing. Because you got to remember, that's, believe it or not, back in the day, that was weight training. It was just sitting at the table. And these guys back in the 30s and 40s and 20s would sit there and flex. They'd push against, they would pose, and that's how they built muscle. Crazy, right? Crazy. And go back and Google pictures from the guys in the 1920s. And don't go, oh man, they must have had steroids back in the 1920s. It doesn't work that way. So it's a tremendous thing. And I'm teaching, I want my son to really understand flexing each muscle and posing before any kind of real weightlifting starts.
Saying what to this?
Who couldn't get a 3-piece the other day? Sam couldn't get a
He got a
3.
little stage fright.
Yeah, he did.
Well, he was thinking too much about it.
Yeah, it's got
That's
to,
tough.
here, comes from here. The flow, the love.
Feel it. Where did you draw your inspiration?
Mike.
That's good.
Mia,
That's better.
that's much
No,
better.
that's Mike.
Mia,
It's our rides to the gym.
send me some photos. Jeffrey, send me some photos. You can find them in 2 seconds.
Hey, Mike. Might be an odd thing to say, but I feel very bored when training biceps. How can I make bicep workouts more entertaining?
Wow.
I don't know. Sorry.
Oh, get fucked.
I have no clue.
You got it.
I mean, my brother loves fishing, loves it. Ended his marriage. He loves fishing so much. Not a joke. That's a harsh reality. He loved fishing so much he would go every weekend, ended his marriage because of the fishing, because he would not spend time at home on the weekends. I can't go for 10 minutes. Maybe I shouldn't fish. Yeah, but it was a metaphor. You guys got that, right? You got the metaphor there is that if you don't find enjoyment in doing biceps out of everything, holy
That's
sheesh.
the one you do find. But he probably doesn't have a long hand or a short hand.
I know. But does he have good biceps?
If you don't have good biceps, that would be the reason
To do it even
to
more.
enjoy it, because now you have this thing to measure every day. Oh my god, I got 0 out of 100. My biceps are a 1. Well, now every week you go into the gym, seeing that 1 turn into a 5, into a 10, into a 15 is going to be so much more rewarding week by week. Where if you were already at a 99 out of 100, reaching that 100, you might go up 0.01 every month for the next 10 years. Whereas a beginner and your biceps are bad, you're going to get so much more enjoyment and reward out of that. 3 for 3.
That's 3.
3 for 3.
Why don't you do that?
Dude, just
I'm
alley-oop.
just impressed.
What you just said was also a mimic or echo of what Mitchell said today, because you're saying that if it's not good, I want to do it, and it would be annoyed that it's not good. So that would drive him more to do it. And so I know that may not be your problem. You probably have good biceps, and so you're bored of doing them. But for me, if I had that, I would be even more frustrated, which would drive me more to do it. But again, I can't. I not every question I can answer you and give you hope that it will work for you. I mean, if you find if you're bored of that, I can't. There's nothing I can do. It's the 8 glasses of water. I can't get 8 glasses of water in. I can't help that person.
You're bored? Quick answer, switch it up. Do something different. Put on music. Who knows? But the real answer, can't do it. Where do we at? what does this even mean? If your free testosterone is near the higher levels, should you get more thorough tests done?
Well, yeah, I think it's great. I mean, obviously you've done more than one test, and so it's great at your freeze working like that. You're golden. And I always say this too, and I know that the people I talk to or do podcasts with always go, well, you know, the number of the testosterone is what's important. And it's like, wait a minute. And how many people do we know that have this testosterone that's at 1,000 and their freeze at 9? 9 is very low and bad. But I know guys that are at 500 T level, but their free is at 24, which is great.
Whoa.
So that means the guy is utilizing so much better. And again, a lot of power lifters, their T levels are a lot of them are very low, but their bodies are functioning really, really well. So I'm curious on a study of that one. So yeah, congratulations. But yeah, you'll every 3 or 6 months when you do your test, you'll know. Congrats, though.
How should a YouTuber get involved in acting industry?
Oh, just the same way before. You're going to go in, you're going to get an agent, you're going to do a monologue for them, and you're locked and loaded. But it's YouTuber, or if anybody is here is interested, you can be an influencer, you could be whatever, you could be a waitress, be all the same. You get an agent, get a casting, and start going. Or you could just technically represent yourself and just go out on casting calls. Good luck, kick ass, my man. Give us a couple bangers, guys. See? That's a parent.
All right, I'm jumping down to the bottom,
that's a
guys.
parent.
So if don't cry that I skipped your question, just write it again.
Yeah, hit a good one. Hit a good couple bangers.
I don't know about Elden Ring.
I don't. Sorry. I was a gamer. I can give you an exact. I was a gamer up until I moved out of the judo house. When I got here, I got cut off. There was one time Mona walked in and she goes, "What are you doing?" I'll give you nothing. It's the 40-year-old man. I turtled. That was the last time I ever played.
Mike, what do you say to people that find squats, deadlifts, shoulder presses too fatiguing and not worth the risk?
Don't say nothing to them.
Oh, I don't think anything. Yeah.
It's not a conversation you want to have.
Here's the cool thing.
Oh.
And I think I've been doing this a lot in these interviews as of late is whatever they say or want to say, let them say it. You know, the whole risk reward on an exercise. Cool. Let them do their thing. Yeah. I do understand fatiguing, but here's the great thing. I would take, if I have to do a hypothetical, I would take squats every week for the rest of my life, relative to doing leg press and leg curls and hack squats. And when you can give me 20 exercises and I can do that each week for the rest of my life, but I never can squat again. I will take squats over all the other exercises and nothing else. And I know it's fatiguing and I know it's hard, but that's what makes it a lot of fun, but it's the benefits from those. And I guess, again, go watch some great old school guys that still move, even older than me, like Tom Plass and others that talk about risk and reward. Can squats and deadlifts hurt you and bench hurt you? Yes. Can they hurt you more than other exercises? Yes. The reward is more as well. And I'm the guy that wants to try. I would rather go more reward and just try to do the very best I can, knowing that still doesn't mean I'm getting out alive. I found the best. What are these called? Henry's?
Uh-huh.
What are they?
The Hanley.
Hangley. Green sleeves, white body.
Okay.
They look great.
What was it?
Upstairs.
Oh.
Ready for Bobo.
3/4 thing?
Yeah. Old. This. It's exactly this, but the colors.
I had a closet full of those upstairs. Wow.
Yeah, you do. I don't think I got triple X in there for you. Oh,
Oh,
you've lost 10 pounds
I
of.
see what you did there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. T's riding a little high today.
Any cons to taking a multivitamin with your post-workout meal? I've read that you should avoid them because of anti-inflammation, but would that be good for recovery?
I don't think multivitamins. I know D should be taken with food. I don't think multis need to be taken with food. Take it whenever or on an empty stomach. Besides D, iron. What else upsets your stomach?
Zinc?
Is it zinc?
That is for me.
There's a few that you need to take it with meals. If you can take vitamins and your peptides without meals or not around meals, that's the one thing I've learned is better utilization of it. Yeah, but it's a slow digestion. It's sitting in there. I don't think you need to do it with the recovery meal. I wouldn't start looking at it as that's a key to your recovery. I would do it though. Everybody here, I would do vitamins or supplements. You got some stuff from the other day, huh?
What?
On the treadmill, those 2 lives.
Yeah, one of them.
I think I saw something on the phone.
One of them's
How's it doing?
2 shorts. I haven't checked.
Okay, cool. It just I liked it. It was some good bullet points there. We're talking about there's some stuff that I think is beneficial to hear and maybe keep in the pocket over on the YouTube shorts. All right, couple more.
Mike, I'm 6'7" and have a hard time building chest. Suggestions.
Inclines, follow that up with incline dumbbells, but a little bit more of a stretch. Follow that up with some nice cables or flies and stay there. The 5 of 5, the power bodybuilding, you know that. And do that and hit that twice a week for the next month. Make sure the calories are on point. You're doing that. And let's focus on that for the next month. You're almost overtraining it, but making sure the nutrition is okay, you're going to be fine. And you're doing it also just for 4 weeks. Hit me back. All right.
Booyah. Here's a common one, the easy one. Any advice for someone who's a bit skinny fat at 127 pounds?
Yeah, you're not eating well enough.
127?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just make sure you're eating, make sure you're getting the protein in there. It's the nutrition. So make sure you get that going, get the body going up. What's happening is like Hollywood's, you go on set here in Hollywood and you see so many girls that are so thin, but they're that skinny fat because you touch them, they're so soft. And guys too here in Hollywood, because they run away from food. So their body protects them. And this is the harsh reality of it. You can be really small. And if you do any kind of research or study, go do that for some anorexic people and find out what their body fat is. They are incredibly thin. And it's frightening the level of body fat that they are at. Any idea?
No.
Yeah, it's double digits, but extreme double digits. Yeah, it's a wild thing how well your body wants to protect itself until it gives out.
That's what happened to James, right? The skinny fat. What, the 147?
Oh, be nice.
I'm just saying.
You just be nice.
I'm trying to.
Just be nice.
Yeah.
That's tease me, not them.
Oh, okay.
Tease me.
So for somebody like that, he's 127. Obviously, he's really light, but he is skinny fat. Would you suggest for him to just get some size on, or in this case, hey, cut down a little bit and then do it.
Oh,
Which one? Because he's already 127.
Yeah,
so
I think he's honest enough to say that he's a skinny fat, which is great and a great understanding. And I think a surplus is actually going to bring some of that muscle he's lost over the last couple of years back. And plus the larger amount of calories will start filling him back out. And I'll guarantee that his body will start trusting him and start losing some of the fat that he already has. And you'll start feeding it, your body will trust you, and kind of that whole concept of you were sick and your body was protecting itself. Now you're feeding it. It's going to heal. You'll actually get some muscle because you're eating so much better. And you'll be burning fat at the same time because your body will be going, okay, we don't need as much of this fat. It's a cool thing about the body. Thanks for the question.
Liam, click that link. Boom. Enter bulk and start eating.
Yeah, get in there, enter the, want to get some size, some bulk, and let's get you going. And it'll be cool to see you tighten up on a higher calorie.
What's your opinion of the in-body scan to track the metrics it shows?
Whatever device you choose is great. And then just stay with that device. If you're trying to get an exact number, you can read anything, anywhere, and it's all close, not exact. So that's all that matters. It's whatever you track, and if that's all, we just do the DEXA scan. Easy, inexpensive, and again, yeah, for exacts. Doesn't really matter unless you can always just test through that, because what you're using it for, I don't think you're using it to brag, right? You're not using it to go, hey, look it, I'm at 5%, haha. You're using it so you can gauge yourself and your progress. And so it's just something that goes, well, this one measures me at 10. Am I 10? I don't know. I look pretty good. I think I'm less than that, but whatever it is, now I can gauge. Am I down to 9% or am I up to 11? That's how I'd use it.
Any tips for somebody that's 2 months out from their first bodybuilding show?
Trust the process. Trust the process. Don't get too ahead of yourself. You got 8 more weeks. And it's only going to speed up. It's going to speed up and speed up and speed up your metabolism as you are on point for more weeks. So don't freak out. Don't get that estrogen and freaking out and your cortisol release and all that going. Patience and trust the process. And good job. Really good job. Anybody that will go through the process of dieting down like this or do the 30-day blitz, great program. Props to you.
Can you talk about what you mean by trust the process?
I got a meme today, and the meme is, I guess the cats are going viral right now, and they're looking like this. But the meme says at the top, bodybuilder or whatever, I've been training 10 years to look like this. And the one down below goes, hold on, I want to look like this by Saturday. So to me, it's very funny knowing, yeah, it takes a long time to get to that ultimate goal. But everybody wants the short term, like you're saying. And the reason I say that is because when you're doing 12 weeks when you start sounds to the head, oh, that's a long time. Maybe I can cheat this weekend. Then I got 11 weeks, I'll be okay. Or you're 11 weeks and I look terrible. Maybe I should just fast the next 3 days. 12 weeks goes really quick and it speeds up through that process. The calmer you can be, the better you will look and the better your body works with you. So trusting the process is, I don't need to be ready day 1. I got till week 12 to be ready, and be patient in that. And don't start freaking out halfway through. It just slows it down.
Hope all is good, brother. Thanks for all the help.
Thank you. And anybody going through a diet right now, props to you, man. Props to doing it and getting there. And for anybody off season and you're in a surplus, really good job. Dieting is hard, but staying in a surplus for 9 months to a year to get that size and staying in it, that's true dedication, because that's the most boring thing in the world. You know, training for 1 year to put on 5 pounds of muscle. And the process is so slow. So props to you to stay patient like that in that process, which I find to be even harder than the guy cutting. We started having Titan trying to do the line.
Oh,
Yeah. That'd be a good gift.
I don't get this one.
Read it to me.
Well, he says running a strength program for bench.
Great.
What rep sets and percents would you start with?
Well, it's in the program.
So, if you're
looking for, you either have the program and that's what you're doing, or you're looking for a program. So you just jump on Power Bodybuilding if you want to get 25 pounds to 50 pounds on your bench over the next 9 to 12 weeks.
you should know exactly what you're doing, what percentages you're doing, and what you're going to do at the end of the program, beginning all the way through. If your program doesn't say that, it's fucking trash.
And it does say that, and you're just asking me so you can kind of compare my belief to what that is. It doesn't matter what I believe. Do your program. You'll know if you got a good benefit from it. And if you didn't, there's this right here, guaranteed to give an absolute monster bench after you're done. Interesting, though, you're just doing the bench. If the squat goes up, your bench goes up. So my recommendation is, unless you can't do squats and deadlift, I would do it.
Question. I'm scrolling up.
Yeah.
He originally asked, how would you run a 4-week strength program for bench?
Yeah, jump on Power Bodybuilding. Are you guys ready for tomorrow? You ready for this?
My buddy that knows DDP, he told him he's coming in and work out with you.
He told him.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, who I was with at WCW back in 2000, before Vince McMahon bought them up. He went on over to WWE. I don't know if it was F by then or something. Did you see what Scotty Steiner and Rick Steiner's kids and all that?
I saw an interview with Scott Steiner on that.
Yeah, I thought the one kid who played football and crushed it. Now he's over at WWE. I thought he was Rick's, and Scotty was the uncle. Then I saw another one from Chris, who does all the interviews.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his kids that are two monsters, savages.
Apparently,
Michigan boys. You know that, right?
yeah, and
Are they famous there?
Yeah, apparently he's a math wizard as well.
Scotty or Rick?
Scotty.
Two different personalities.
Yeah, but the interview he did just a couple days ago, he was so. Usually he's like hyped. He was like so mild and just very
No.
disgusting.
You're saying his character is hype. Because how the interview is, that's how he is.
Yeah, the character.
Yeah.
Versus how we did the interview.
So Bobo's saying that a guy on TV is different than when he does interviews.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that wild? Yeah.
Bobo?
Do you want to throw me a ball? Because I can make any shot right now.
Two big ass.
Hey, Tom Cruise and Top Gun, and he's nothing like that. Oh,
No.
what?
You ask
Wow.
Mickey Rourke, he's the same with every.
Mickey's not the same.
Yeah, no. Mickey says Tom's the same. Same character.
Yeah.
What about Mike and Magazine Dreams?
Yeah, was that me?
Was that Mike?
It's Mike. No acting involved.
Woo! Zinger.
Best shoulder workout.
Oh, yeah, behind neck shoulder press, followed upright, side laterals, rear delts. Get some dumbbell seated shrugs.
Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Oh, it's Star Wars. Lord of the Rings, don't even watch. They just carried on and on and on. Why didn't he just jump on one of those big birds, fly up there and drop it in? Done. All 4 movies over.
Or just use magic. Just walk over to
Yeah. Or use that ring in a different way.
Yeah.
That would have been really Lord of the Rings.
Everybody be chasing that movie.
Yeah. Star Wars. Original Star Wars, not
Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. That's it.
yeah.
Lifting since I was 15.
Great.
My 13-year-old son is now lifting with me.
Nice.
Shoulders sit really far forward. What should I do to try to help him straighten everything back?
A lot of back work. Get those back work going, rear delts, pull it back, make sure he sits up straight. Yeah, that's rotation. Is he boxing? Is that why the tilt? Is he also striking? Is that what yeah, so yeah, back.
Playing too many video games.
Yeah. That's what I would
That's
do.
exactly what it is.
That's what I would do. And when he does chest, I would, because it's such a young age, I would leave the bench or pressing alone and do a lot of flies. Open that chest up, open it up, not this so much as opening it up.
Learn to walk with good posture.
Yeah.
Like Mike does. He's like this one.
What goes through your mind when you want to dig deep?
Aggression, anger, yeah, all the negative stuff. It's great. Get nasty. Use it. I saw who said this? Oh, Andrew Herberman did this. The difference between winners and losers. And I like this because a lot of people go, well, there's no losers. I say, yeah, there are. 100% there's losers. And how he did it was a very simple both winners and losers are traumatized in life. And the winners will take the trauma and use it to make them better. Where the losers will take the negativity and put it outright and make everybody else suffer and complain. So yeah, I like using any kind of negativity in a positive way when I train. I'm trying to say I'm the hero, the good guy.
But it is amazing when you take somebody like that has dyslexia, because there's several of them that use that as a launching board to be successful.
But I think it's dyslexia or anything like that. It's the bar that we use, like we were saying today. It's the way we deadlift.
Yeah.
It's the way we squat. We don't need to go that low.
Yeah.
In no world. But everything we do, we try to make it harder on ourselves so it's better in the long run.
How to bodybuild and be good at golf?
Oh, I mean, weightlifting itself. Do you mean bodybuild or do you mean weightlift? Because that's 2 different worlds. You're an athlete, you're a golfer, and you're a weightlifter. Yeah, so weightlifting helps you in all sports. Tiger Woods trained, all those guys.
Man, ask John Daly.
John Daly?
That's your.
That's it. Is that the guy I like? Yeah. The beer drinking.
Cigars.
Yeah. Yeah. Weight training correctly is going to keep you flexible so you can swing. Nice little hip movement. Great question.
Would you say there's a correlation between dedication and consistency in the gym to success in life, career-wise?
Everybody says that. Everybody says.
Prepare for something,
Yeah. And that's one of the greatest. And they talk about that too. These top-notch CEOs that are crushing it and stuff. It's just the discipline, it's consistency, and it goes into health.
When Saban was talking about how superior athletes want to be coached, you know, they look to be coached correctly. That's just in their DNA to
Yeah.
be better. The other guys are just on the field and just.
What's that have to do with this question?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot like I just said about the meme. The meme had no bearing on the guy's question. So
What mean?
again, yeah, yeah, I think it does tremendously.
Don't listen.
But also think of this: dedication. There's no downside to dedication. There's no downside to consistency. Those two things set you up in so many different ways. There's no downside.
Just some random guy you'd never remember. Remember, we used to work out at Body Power back in the 80s. Remember the guy Terrell who had the big squat? Anyways, congrats on all the success.
Thanks, Terrell. Gosh darn, Body Power. Yeah, it was a good gym.
More like a pedal bottom.
I see you're funny. You're funny. Hey, are you still training? You still working out, kiddo? Let me know. Let me know. That was a nice gym.
Mike, I want a broad back and V taper. What are the compounds I should focus on?
Oh, just basic workout. You got it. Just stick with the basics. You're golden.
It's always the basics.
Yes, just stay with the basics. Jump on strength gains. That's going to help you get there. And the meal plan, just make sure the nutrition's there. Just understand anybody that wants a V shape and muscle, the nutrition's first. You're starting that first. And that was a great thing about another one today. And I'll speak about it because it just happened. Speaking with Mitchell, the world's strongest man, it's nutrition again is it's in the forefront. Rich Gaspari, we talked to him today. It's in the forefront of everything. Training is secondary to nutrition. When you travel, get your proteins in. No matter how busy you are, you're taking care of that. And you know, the proper amount of carbohydrates and fats. And I loved it. Rich is one of the few guys I think I know of that hasn't ran away from carbohydrates, that we still do that. And I think that's another reason why he's still doing this.
Sleep.
OG.
Yeah, 19, winning the universe.
Yeah.
He could have done teenage,
So it's like
but he wins the men's.
19 was it's like 83 for him, something like that.
Yeah.
83.
Early.
83, 84, yeah.
So he grew up watching all those guys in the 70s, 60s.
Then he was Lee Haney's roommate,
That's
1 and 2.
Come on, what are you gonna do?
And Lee was the first. I mean, he separated bodybuilding. He was another one too. And then Rich separated it because he became that guy that was just so peeled and muscular and dense. It's a different level.
How do you keep mentally sane when you have a day off?
Oh,
What do you mean? How do you keep mentally sane when you have a off day?
off days different.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say both.
I read it wrong.
So a day off and not going to the gym is frustrating. But know that you got to recover. Like I think I did as well as I did today because yesterday I took off to be ready and not too ran down because I'm already run down just from dieting. But off day, go upstairs, get to bed, get up the next day and crush it, man. We all get those off. Well, I get those off days. They happen. Do the best you can on that day, but just know there's another day and let it go. Or if you got somebody like Bobo, just talks, it makes you feel so good. We allow bullying in this house, except they can all bully my kid except me. For some reason, I get in trouble.
What do you think about not doing cardio when cutting? I know it's a tool to lose body fat, but I just hate doing it. currently cutting, and when I get a plateau, I'll decrease calories.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. And instead of decreasing calories, just maybe more volume. That's a huge one. Yeah. A lot of people try not to do cardio. And they just go to those 2 workouts a day kind of program. I think anything like that, it's fun. You don't like something, I'd rather you do something you like. Train twice a day.
So when I was in my young 20s, I would work out each muscle until I felt the pump was going to make my muscles explode. Then I stopped the workout. I was so jacked. I'm 31 now. Can I do that again?
Still age.
Well, yeah, I understand. So you got a lot of pumps. Yeah, of course you can. You're 31. You're a pup. But, for anybody here, at 40, you could come back. At 50, you can come back and get in shape. The only thing I would say, though, reading this is try to not only train, but deposit some good, healthy training into the future. So if you were in shape in your 20s and you trained a lot, there should be some benefits from that still at 31. And you're not just completely gone. And so, we'll see people and they look like they never trained in their lives. And then they'll show us pictures of them 20 years before, where they kind of went for that pump workouts, where all it was a muscle pump. So glycogen, fill in the muscle, but there was no dense work. There was no compound to get that thickness and density to the body. And that's what I would kind of focus on. And that way you're getting more benefit from this. So if you do leave again, there's something there when you come back.
Flat bench or incline bench to reduce chest fat and get it toned?
You should get a trainer.
What are you laughing, Boba?
What's your answer, Bo?
That's a real question.
It's a real question. Yeah, I know. That's why I said get a trainer. Bobo said it's diet. And you should know that. Right? So, yeah, get a trainer. You're
Not reverse it?
No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah, you get leaner and tighter, not from exercising as you do. You're working it's a stimulant. You want to lose body fat and you want to diet correctly is what you really want.
No. Do you go heavy on lateral raises?
Yeah.
How much do you focus on your breathing when you lift heavy?
I don't focus. I'm not breathing. Yeah. My breath is held.
Harness that energy.
Harness that. Don't give that energy up.
Hear that noise every night.
One more, 2 more.
That's fine.
Are you digging on this?
I'm just looking. I'm just reading a couple long ones that
Are they good? Read them to me.
would have been on the board.
I know. You can always throw them up there, and if they're not good, pull them down.
Yeah.
So,
Here we go. If you are still responding to lower weight and higher reps, should you wait to increase the weight? I'm worried about joint health and injury risk at 47.
if you're seeing progress, you're seeing progress. Congratulations. That's great. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, progress for anybody here is progress. And then the secondary thing, if I was going to dive into it deeper, is are you doing mileage on your body right now and not getting the benefit of stress? So there's always that simple question of, hey, what's better, 100 reps with 10 pounds or 1 rep with 100 pounds? And most people say, well, obviously 100 reps with 10 pounds. It's light. You get a lot of work. You burn some calories. That's no stress to the body. Where the 1 rep with 100 pounds is stress to the body and no mileage. So that in life and how the body works is better than all the reps. But now you're getting progress. So stay with the progress. I'm fine with that. Just understand, how much mileage are you doing and does it outweigh what you're doing? So anybody that's got progress, stay with it. Well,
how do you reduce CNS fatigue after heavy compound lifts?
Well, you just recover just like it's powerlifting. And so your body gets better and better with the more volume. And as you move through the weightlifting program, you're set up. You're set up on a program. So we wait until we're done. We're getting that ready for that powerlifting meet. You got 12 weeks. You'll be able to take a week rest at the end. But I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad that that's how you're training. You understand that. Last one, kid.
A good one. What's up?
I had this story on my page. Me, Jonathan, and Mark, when we first came in.
Okay.
And the guy put a flash on us.
All right.
And I think you got it right in front of us.
It's on your story right now, though?
His is.
Okay.
But I think you were here.
Uh-huh.
His wife was over here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's this angle where I think you're here.
Right.
I think it's a good angle to throw it up.
In the beginning?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had the shot.
Yeah. Let me see that after this. A banger, because it is Wednesday. Put that up Wednesday night. Last one, guys. Give me a good one.
Give us a banger, guys.
Ask that question, guys. If you can. It doesn't need to be. It could be a question for yourself or for the class.
What physique inspired you growing up? And do you have a top physique of all time?
Top physique of all time is Flex Wheeler. And it's been that way since 93, 94. Growing up, I liked Danny Padillo. I liked Arnold Schwarzenegger. I liked Robbie Robinson. I liked, those Frank Zane. Those, and it was the idea that you could look like that and look athletic and healthy and strong. Steve Reeves, holy shnikes, in a suit. Steve Reeves, when he started hitting Hollywood and stuff and wearing those clothes and red carpet, mostly he was a big man. In bodybuilding, that era, he was even taller than Arnold. So he was just like a striking, that stuff. It's great. But my favorite physique of all time is Flex Wheeler, and then like Francis Benefato after that. Looking back at these shots, different. Stacked.
Last one right here. How are you going to train your son?
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, 100% flexing, understanding contraction of hamstrings, calves, intercostals, lower back, Christmas tree, rear delts. And we flexing. As he's doing that and learning how to contract and pose. And then it won't just be that contraction spot. How can he flex? Can he bounce his chest? And I started bouncing my chest by 14. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And decades you know. So doing this was like one of the biggest things in my family for all the guys to do. And that control, being able to do that and roll it up like that, those kind of things help when you weight lift. And so for Titan, that's one of the first things. And as he's doing that, moving through exercises with hardly anything on it and balance is how we'll do it for the next 5 years. And food.
Thanks for answering. I stopped working out for 5 years. I'm 31 now. This is the guy that.
Yeah, I was just doing he looked good.
Definitely have left. I stopped working out for 5 years. 31 now, and I definitely have leftovers.
Oh, good.
I worked very hard in my 20s, which is crazy. It's been 5 years since I left.
Real quick though, why'd you leave? You were doing so well, and you sound like you were into it, and you're so dedicated. If you can say, I know life has a lot of crazy things happen. So I know that like Bobo went over to, what was it, Bangkok, and met a girl.
Yeah.
He thought.
Uh,
So yeah, and I'm glad you got leftover. Everybody, this gentleman was trained in his 20s, left for 5 years, and there's leftover from his training. I think that then he did something there in his 20s, and I wish more people wouldn't just go in and have these blown physiques where they look good, but they're just pumped up physiques for a moment, and they're gone from the gym for a month, and they're disappeared. And I will say that when I was watching Magazine Dreams, Jonathan looked great, but he trained for it, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Breon.
Mhm.
Breon looked great,
Yeah.
and Breon looks incredible all the time. But there was somebody else on there. There was Danny looked unreal too,
Right.
and there was somebody else, and there was a huge difference. And there was other guys there, and I was just like, there's a huge, there should be some benefit. You can't just train and then a year later it doesn't say. I think that's why the one thing is that I like that people that train with me understand, and we get something more out of them. There's something left over. Any last one, or is that it?
That's it. Banging out a little 400 grammer right there. There it is. Peace.